sports car is always something that you'd want. Look at how beautiful they are. Look at the Ferrari. Stunning. Look at the Koenigsegg. Look at the Pagani. Driving a tank was something really special. Where does a person get a chance to drive a tank? You see the ditch and you're like, man, I'm going to have to hold it because it's going to go.
And what was it about BMW?
Firstly, I just liked the look. I love the kidney grills. I just remember at that time, I thought, lunga to BMW lunga.
So, which is the car you learned driving on?
There was a lever that you would pull and the lights would roll up.
Did you get like road rage?
I used to. I don't anymore. Chal nikalna, kya kar raha hai re? Chal tu chale.
Welcome to another cracking episode of History on Wheels, where we take you on journeys with stars and their cars. On today's episode, we have the BMW X7, which burst onto the scene in 2018. The talent we have on our show today perfectly mirrors this powerful and impressive car. He's fresh, he's dynamic, and ready to take on the best in the business. You've seen him in movies like Arya, Monica Oh My Darling, and the recent Monkey Man. Please welcome none other than Sikandar Kher. Welcome to our show History on Wheels, Sikandar. We're really happy to have you here, particularly because I know you love cars probably as much as I do, or maybe even more.
I doubt that. Renuka.
Where did the love begin?
I guess posters, boys, I mean even women. I'm sure, look at you. You've done how many? 16,000 miles just straight up driving?
Yeah.
Just happens, yeah. I think they're just so beautiful to look at. There's an attraction, the speed or the luxury, whatever it may be.
What was that poster car that you kind of had that you said, "Ke, bhaiya, one day I'm going to own one of these"?
Oh, there have been many. But I'll tell you the one that really was lovely. A friend of mine in his room had the poster of a white Lamborghini Countach. In like the 90s, it was
the car.
Yeah,
the
it was
car.
really stunning.
It was really stunning, yeah. What are the cars that you've owned, and over the period of time, what were your favorites?
We had an Italian Fiat, the one jiske darwaje aise khulte the.
Haan. What we used to call the Dukkar.
We used to call it the Alu.
Alu. Why Alu, of all the names?
Yeah, it was Alu. Don't worry, this was in South Bombay. We had that. We had the Opel GT, which was imported from Germany. And I was very, very young, and I remember it was a sports car.
Yeah.
And it was really quite a solid beast.
Yeah.
And I remember very clearly that there was a lever that you would pull and the lights would roll up and come up. And I remember the thin wooden steering wheel.
Yeah.
I would always want that car to come and pick me up from school so that all the kids
would turn around and look
I'd
at
be like, yeah, man. You know,
this is the dude.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think that's how probably they looked at it. But yeah, it was that was there. Of course, the Fiat Padmani, which is iconic in this country. But I clearly remember this one had a gauge which was straight with the numbers. It would just move like almost like a thermometer.
Horizontally.
Like a thermometer.
Thermometer.
Yeah, it was like that.
Yeah.
So that was one, and a lot of my life was spent in a Contessa.
The OG muscle kind of car of those times. I think it would be quite cool to own one.
I think so, with some racing stripes.
Maybe that's the car that you actually imagine that. You know, like most people say, "Acha, when I make it, I'll get this car." You go out and buy a Contessa and just change all the norms.
Yeah, bust the myth.
Bust the myth.
Yeah.
Bust the myth, absolutely. Yeah. But have you ever done any like crazy drives, done some crazy things with a car?
I, to be very honest, haven't. There were donuts that were some friend made just after the Woli ceiling.
Okay.
This was years ago, so I guess he can't be arrested for that now.
These days, I don't think he can do that
no
anymore.
Chance.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool, and I remember that car, you know, having those bucket seats that would move naturally, ergonomically to like hold you. If you're going left, it'll come out to support you.
Yeah.
I've never done too many crazy things in a car.
I
think my mother's always spoken about the safety of driving, you know, for other people and for yourself.
I think that's so essential. I mean, it's nice to do crazy things with a car, but in a controlled environment.
That's true.
On the roads, it's just better to be safe because there are other people around.
Absolutely.
But you've driven some crazy things, like you've done movies where you've driven a tank.
Yes.
What was that experience like?
Driving a tank was something really special. Where does a person get a chance to drive a tank?
Exactly.
I mean, I'm shooting a film.
Was it really claustrophobic
It took
inside the
me-
tank? You're tall, so I can just...
It took me about 20 minutes to get into it.
Okay.
I mean, I was embarrassed because people were just waiting, including the army, for me to
इसको
get in. And I
अंदर
was
fit
like,
कैसे कर दे?
नहीं,
हाँ.
and they needed to move the turret all the way to the other side so that I could get into the cupola. The cupola. It's very tiny, but it was quite an experience to do that. You know.
And did you feel like, I've always imagined that if I'm in a tank, I'll just feel like run over everything else that's on the way and irritating the hell out of me in the traffic. But is it that invincible a feeling inside the tank?
I was more focused on getting it right, okay?
Okay.
Because the throttles and all the turning, you have to get a little used to it.
Yeah.
So I did 2 rounds of their course, and you see the ditch, and you're like, man, I'm gonna have to hold it because it's gonna go in and out.
Yeah.
And it just goes over it like it's normal road.
Yeah.
And it's literally like makhan. It just
Inside
goes like
you don't feel it.
makhan. No, you don't feel it as much as you think you will. You will feel it, but it's very mild. And this was quite an old tank that I did. I did it in a T72, which is a Russian tank. So quite a machine.
And what was it about the BMW that really kind of drew you to it?
You know, I had driven them, some friends' cars, etc. I just like the vibe between. I mean, I like the vibe of the car. In terms of when I was driving, it just felt like this was a long time back when I was young. I just remember at that time I thought, "Lunga to BMW lunga."
Huh.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Firstly, I just like the look. I love the kidney.
Grills?
It's called the kidney grills, you know?
Exactly,
Yeah,
yes.
the kidney grills. There was a vibe of the car, and I've always liked this car.
Yeah.
And it was just more responsive than some of the others that I've driven, which are beautiful cars. But I don't know, there was just a feeling. Maybe it was the age.
Yeah.
Maybe it was the feeling at that time. You know. Other than that, there wasn't really much thought. I just liked the car.
Cool. So shall we get in and drive and continue our conversation?
Let's. I'm looking forward to you driving.
I'm going
Because
to.
you've driven how many thousand kilometers in your life and rallying?
Too many to count.
Okay, so then you're going to show some tricks, hopefully, without getting arrested.
Not on the roads, but let's get it. Yeah? So, which is the car you learned driving on?
I learned driving on a Maruti 800, I think at the age of 10 or something like that. We used to go, my father used to take me to the US club. You know, the back, I don't know if you're familiar with the US club, but at the
Correct,
back
yeah.
there's that shooting range, that
Yes.
big one, where the cars used to be parked, and he taught me over there.
Very cool. Yeah. So, your dad taught you driving.
My dad taught me driving.
I think that's the coolest way to learn. Even my dad taught me driving. But was your dad a patient teacher or an
He was.
impatient one like mine?
No, he was a patient teacher, and he really took a lot of pride in his driving. He had a British driving license at that time, which was apparently really, really tough to get. And he taught me the basics as per the rules of how you need to pass it over there. And he was a very meticulous man. So I think I learned from the best, if I may say so myself, amongst the best. How about that?
Very cool. And like now, when you drive and like if you drive your mom around, is she like a backseat driver? Does
Yes.
she like tell you, "Nee,
Absolutely.
वैसे नहीं, go slow"? Huh?
100%. 100%.
Yeah. Are you the kind of guy who likes like a sports car or like an SUV?
Of course, a sports car is always something that you'd want. You know, I mean, of course, it's not practical at all. But yeah, man, I've grown up. I mean, it is a thing, no? It's a rush.
Yeah.
It's like, look at how beautiful they are.
Yeah.
Look at the Ferrari. Look at the Koenigsegg. Look at the Pagani. They're just lovely.
They're superb cars, yeah,
How
but-
would you not, if you make that kind of money, you got to have one, but it has to be like your holiday car.
Yeah, because in Bombay you would be like बाकी सब पहले माले पे हम नीचे ground floor पे
Bombay में
धक्के
तो-
खाते हुए.
Correct. वो तो मुश्किल. Bombay के लिए SUV सही है. I want to know which is your favorite car that you've driven.
A favorite car. It changes
Of
over a
course.
period of time because you drive so many wonderful things. I had a fabulous drive in a Lamborghini Huracan Technica. The sound of it was like, Very recently, I drove the Bentley Continental GT Speed.
So it is very tough to actually zero in on one car if somebody who likes cars, because I think all of them have
And
a
each
very unique, different vibe.
Car speaks to you in a different way. Na? What's it that stirs your soul about a car?
I mean, for me, it's just the drive, to be honest, the feeling, the vibe, the response, of course, the comfort, the feeling of the steering wheel. I love steering wheels. I've always had a thing for steering wheels.
Thicker steering wheel or thinner steering wheel?
You know, I haven't had the opportunity of really using a thinner steering wheel. A thicker steering wheel, just to keep it simple. They feel a lot better. I have done a 800, I've driven a Padmani, I've driven the older cars. So, yeah, the thicker steering wheel.
Do you get like road rage
You know,
when you're driving?
I
Or are you a calm driver?
I used to. I don't anymore.
Yeah?
Yeah, I don't. I mean, I'm burning my own blood. You know, that's it. But I'm like, चलो भाई जाओ. आपको जाना है तो जाओ. आप जल्दी में हो तो जाओ. You know, like people on planes, on flights, who when it lands, they want to be the first people to get up and get out. It's like, well, you're going to still get there at the, baggage claim at the same time as me. So why are you nudging people
Seriously,
out of the way?
this is something I cannot understand.
Yeah.
And even on the road, if you just have that 2-minute ka patience, na, ki, chalo, then there won't be a traffic jam. But people just don't have that patience.
Yeah, you know, when it gets into a complete lock where everybody, I'm like, why did you all do this? And then there's still people trying to get in.
From the
everywhere.
extreme outside,
and then you're just stuck. And then you have one good Samaritan who jumps out of the car and he starts directing traffic. Hey, tu udhar ja, chal nikalna, kya kar raha hai re? All that stuff happens. So that's the great. Yeah, that's the, even I've done that. And that's the great thing about this city.
Yeah.
I think everybody actually eventually comes together to
And
help at
figures
some
it out.
point. Hey,
Yeah.
kya kar raha hai? And I love that. They're just going hard. Chal, piche le. You know? And people are doing that also. They realize, I think, somewhere that they're being silly.
Yeah. But tell me something, talking about intimidating, you know, having like Anupam ji and Kirron Kher to live up to in the acting world, was it tough right at the outset?
I've never, a lot of people ask me this in interviews. I've never felt the feeling of living up to anybody. I have to live up to myself. That's it.
That was a fun drive. Not very rapid, but we will dive into a rapid fire round now before we let you go.
Okay.
Quick questions. What's a car that you hate?
I thought about that. I've not come across anything that I really hate.
Most uncomfortable car you've been in?
Most of the cars are uncomfortable for my height, especially if I'm in the back seat.
What's the song you would play on a date in a car?
I think Sweet Disposition.
Good choice.
Maybe I haven't been on a date in a while, but I guess that's it.
Yeah, good choice.
Yeah.
What's the craziest road trip you've been on?
I mean, a lot of my road trips, with some friends when I was very young, used to be from Bombay to Lonavala.
Yeah.
हम लोग बैठे रहते थे घर पे, कुछ करने को था नहीं, गाड़ी में बैठ के हम लोग लोनावला चले जाते थे.
It was never a plan, ना? Just बस उठ के
हाँ,
चले गए.
हम लोग और लोनावला क्योंकि एक दोस्त के पास एक घर था जो यूज नहीं होता था. Means it was almost like, it was not even, it was a dilapidated place. So those were the trips.
And what is that? Who is the one person you would never lend your car to and allow to drive? Why?
I don't think I'd lend it to anybody. I don't think there are people currently who I'd lend it to because she's so new. So I'm a little protective about her.
Yeah.
I'm even making sure that this car doesn't touch the bonnet of
the car.
So
you're a little bit of a Parsi with your cars.
Man, Parsis are the greatest with their cars.
Yeah.
If I may say so.
I'm half one, so
I'll
take that as a compliment.
Of course.
What's your pet peeve in a car?
My pet peeve is a seat probably that doesn't go all the way back. And if the air conditioner doesn't work.
What are the features that your car must have? Like top 3 features.
I'm very happy with the Apple CarPlay because that's just slightly easier with the digitization. Then I just...
It's all connected and ready to go.
I'm a little aware more of the interface also then.
Yeah.
I don't have to learn one new one. I think air conditioner, as I said, it has to be a blasting one. And I remember earlier on we used to have the ones in the Fiat that used to be attached aftermarket.
Correct.
Yeah, so those and yeah.
You're a man of simple needs.
Yes, I don't really, other than that, it should just actually get me from one place to another, but give me the joy. Yeah, that's it, to be honest.
Do you wear your seatbelt in the rear seat?
Yes, I do. No. Am I supposed to say this shit? I'm in trouble.
Remember to wear your seatbelt
I wear my
in the
seatbelt.
rear seat. Always, it's always good to be safe.
I do. Why would it be?
We'd like to keep you safe because there's lots more to come for you. And we wish you the best in all your next endeavors and hope to catch you again soon.
Thank you, Renuka. It was a pleasure
It was a pleasure being with you on the show. But you guys don't go away yet because it's that time of the show where we journey you into the history of the car. The BMW X7 is the largest and almost the brand's most expensive SUV. It's a full-size luxury crossover and it makes a statement wherever it goes. BMW first announced the X7 way back in 2014, but it didn't hit dealerships until March of 2019. They gave us a sneak peek with the concept X7 iPerformance at the 2017 Frankfurt Motor Show, and it definitely built some hype. It's built on the same platform as the X5, but the X7 is bigger in every way. It's taller, wider and longer, which means more cargo space and a third row. Like the X5, the X7 also comes standard with all-wheel drive or X-Drive as BMW calls it. You'll find an inline-6 petrol engine under the hood and even a torquey diesel engine. The X7 boasts of a self-leveling air suspension. This not only makes for a smooth ride, but it can also raise or lower the car depending on the situation. At higher speeds, it even lowers automatically for better aerodynamics. BMW recently gave the X7 a refresh. It is still very recognizable, but the biggest changes are up front. They've introduced these new horizontally split headlights that are also featured on the 7 Series and i7. It really emphasizes the front end and gives it a more modern look. The revised curved widescreen dashboard on the inside is a welcome update too. The entire X7 lineup now features mild hybrid powertrains, improving efficiency. So there you have it, the BMW X7, a true luxury SUV that offers space, performance and a premium driving experience.